And we're underway on day 2. FENERBAHÇE know that a victory here would be a massive boost. Top 2 teams in each group go through. The bottom place team will be left to fight for the minor placings in this competition, so it won't be the final game for them today. They'll have a couple of day wait before they have to play potentially a place match or potentially a knockout match as we head towards the final on the 31st of January. It's quite an adventurous 4-3-3 formation for Aspire Football Dreams. Nuhu, Otabil and Jallow will be the front 3. There is a Guzhan, we were mentioning him just a moment or so ago. Always big and strong, the African sides, you know what you're going to get. It's a fantastic project, the Aspire Football Dreams, really giving African youngsters a chance to step up and forge a trade as a professional footballer.
Yeah, it is fantastic. And I spoke to the coach before and just said, well, where are the players? What we've seen, you know, especially what won it 2 years ago. Well, some of them, one of the players is one of the top players in Africa. One's gone to Everton. So these players are actually filtering through football all around the world.
Here's Denia, the captain. Jallow on the overlap here. That's a great ball to the back post. Side-footed shot goes over the top from Nuhu. So that front 3 already starting to work well together for Aspire Football Dreams in the opening minutes.
Yeah, wonderful cross down the right-hand side. As the volley comes to him, he just gets underneath it and it just goes sailing over the bar, but just try and keep your head over it. But once again, we put the question out yesterday. There was a lot of crosses and a lot of goals from crosses. So, you know, is that going to be, we're going to see quite a bit of that. You know, there wasn't the best of defending from crosses. So, once again, good delivery in the box. Maybe should have done better and hit the target.
Reminder of yesterday's results: Real Madrid beating FENERBAHÇE 6-2, Guangzhou beaten 4-0 by Benfica, and Esperance seeing off Wydad by 3-0 in the final game of the day. Good defending by Ali. He gives the ball straight back to a white-shirted Aspire player, though. Away by Gurkhan.
Yeah, do you know, he does fantastic. Then he gets on the outside of the full-back, gets to the byline. When you get to that byline, lift it up. He just doesn't get the connection on it. After the great work what he's done by getting there, just doesn't have the quality in the cross.
First chance maybe for FENERBAHÇE to put some pressure on with Farouk here. Good solid challenge by Diaby. By Cenk.
Good play by Keita, good positive play down the left-hand side. Once again, a poor delivery into the box, but really good play. This is the way they've got to approach the game, Aspire. Getting at FENERBAHÇE, not letting them really get into any sort of rhythm, knowing that they've played the day before. Have a real energy about your game.
Possible surprise that the coach only made one change today. We saw Kashiwa Reysol come here a couple of years ago in their first appearance in this tournament and didn't make any changes. Started brilliantly, but then faded because of tiredness and wasn't even using substitutions. So I think we will, obviously 5 substitutions allowed. We will see those during the course of the game, but maybe the coach possibly thought we're tinkering, but then thought maybe, well, you know, we put you guys in yesterday, go out and put yesterday right.
Go and put it right, yeah, that's it. Probably has done that. It's looking like that way. And he's probably got a point with that. Get out there and all of a sudden just get rid of it. And it didn't go very well at all for him yesterday, so he's kept the same team there to put it right. But they are, I would imagine they're going to tire a little bit at a certain point, especially if this Aspire keep getting at them. I mean, this is great play down this left-hand side. Good positive play. Defender comes across and knocks it out of play, but good positive play from Aspire in this early 5 minutes of the game.
There's a little bit of pace about him. Jallow, the number 16 from the Gambia. Basically started as a humanitarian project, Aspire Football Dreams, and empowering the youth of the world by identifying the football talents and giving these youngsters a chance of a new life, really, in a better environment. Denia. Barrow. The yellow shirts back behind the ball, though.
I think it's a great idea. We know the love in Africa of football. You know, they've homed into that. They give these players a chance and it proves it. I mean, when they won it 2 years ago, they was absolutely fantastic. They were just too strong for the competition and went on all the way through to win it. And I expect the same again. This is going to be a difficult side to beat. They're well organised. They're athletes, you know. And it means the biggest thing is that I'm looking at with Steven Gerrard at the moment. What he's questioning the players now: have they got that determination? Aspire players have got the determination because it's a life, it's a dream, you know, and that's why they fight for everything. That's why they bring something different against the competition.
If these players do make the grade for Aspire Football Dreams, they tend to move on to the Belgian second division club Eupen, which is owned by or controlled by Aspire. Several have already followed that route from previous tournaments in this competition.
You know, the way in which I look at it, it's about that your dream is to be a professional footballer. Now, whatever standard that is, if it's at Real Madrid, if it's a lower league in England or Belgium, it's about earning, if you can have a life, living your dream, what you want to do. You know, the main thing is that there's clubs everywhere and there's opportunities everywhere, and hopefully these guys take it. And I tell you something, there's no better place to see your top quality players than in this tournament, because it's proved that 19 players out there now playing on the world stage.
Sobral scored the opening goal yesterday. That's an awkward one for the goalkeeper. It's spun up for Kubi, but he manages to gather it before it causes him any real problems. Absolutely perfect surfaces here at Aspire, as we've alluded to many times before. Had a look at the pitch we used yesterday. 3 games were played on it. You'd think it hadn't been played on for 6 months, just looking at it today.
No, it's phenomenal. I mean, you have to realise that some of the temperatures, even in the summer, you know, what they have here, the pitches all year long are like this. It's amazing. The whole facility is second to none. Absolutely fantastic. And the way they work this competition is perfect. The way they rest one pitch. This will be rested tomorrow. They move to the other pitch, so these pitches are immaculate when they come on.
First corner of the game then to Aspire Football Dreams. Goalless opening 7.5 minutes, but it's been a very even start for both these sides. Attacking from Diaby, the central defender, but couldn't get over the ball. Disappointed with himself for not doing better.
Doesn't need, he gets too much on it, you know, all you need is a glance, just use the pace of the cross and just direct it in just towards the goal. He gets too much on it and the ball goes high and over the bar.
Salim Diaby was highlighted as one of the top players in the starting lineup ahead of the game. Isaac Nuhu, we've already seen him in action, the number 11. Another one of those highly rated players only making the bench today, Sabiri Keita. Denia, the captain, busying himself in midfield still. Now Bachahan. Nasu. Pass just lacked a little bit of pace there to pick out Farouk, and Aspire will try and come forward again. Here's Otabil.
What we've got to say as well with a lot of these players, what we've seen, there's none of this diving going on. They all want to stay on the feet. You know, we don't want any of that. We've seen it a lot in the world of football. You know, players trying to get an advantage with a dive. We've not seen that at all yet, which is great credit to these youngsters. Stay on your feet, do what you've got to do. If you've got to, there was a chance yesterday when a tackle came in, one of the players, instead of going down, he stayed on his feet and then he got his shot in. So that's good to see, good habits.
Yeah, the red card we had yesterday, 2 yellows for Saleh from experience, didn't really leave the referee with much opportunity. Lungmoyi brought down on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, once again, wonderful they're getting in these positions. You know, when you get on this right-hand side of this left-hand side, when you get there, it's no good running half the length of the pitch and then not putting a decent cross in. Got to have an end product. The crossing's got to be better from Aspire.
Second corner in quick succession. To the near post this time, not the best corner in the world.
Yeah, that's the only problem at the moment with Aspire, just that little bit of quality. You know, when you get there, it's got to be quality what goes into the box.
Just looking forward, the goalkeeper opted to stay on his line, and Amir waiting for a call from a teammate, only concedes another corner. Just a little misunderstanding at the back there for Fenerbahçe.
Once again, it's a corner down this right-hand side for Aspire. Let's just see what sort of quality can come into the box.
Better one this time, into the goalkeeper, who gathers. Fenerbahçe were claiming there was a foul on the goalkeeper. He recovered well there, Umut.
Yeah, well done. It's a proper 50-50 there with the centre forward there and the goalkeeper. Well done by the keeper. So at the moment, the Fenerbahçe, it's not the game what they really want this the next day after playing a really hard, tough game. It's a real physical side, Aspire. They just keep coming at them. You can see they're fresh as well.
A couple of little errors maybe from Umut yesterday in the game. One where he didn't claim a cross, and Madrid were able to. It was a goal for the equaliser, wasn't it? After Adrian, the Real Madrid goalkeeper, had made an error. Shrewd pair of hands though for the Fenerbahçe keeper on that occasion. Adenia.
Must be wonderful playing out there, especially for Aspire. Playing on these pitches now, wonderfully kept. So they can zip the ball around. You know it's true. You know it's going to come to you. There's not going to get any awkward bounces.
Chasing again for Nuhu down that far side. Just a little bit too much pace on the ball though. You can see Aspire looking to get both their wide players involved, Jallo and Nuhu, in this opening quarter of an hour. Cengiz Aydin is the Fenerbahçe coach. Great tradition, of course, Fenerbahçe. Fantastic atmosphere at some of the big games that you get in Turkey. Major rivalries with Besiktas and with Galatasaray. Their derbies against Fenerbahçe considered to be some of the most fiercest and intense in the world. Good ball over the top, there's no flag. Was there a touch there? Certainly Aspire Football Dreams looking at the referee, who had a clear view of that. No penalty given.
No, not at all, not at all. It's a wonderful first touch what he does, but as soon as he gets the contact, he goes down. You know, this is strange enough. I've just said about the diving, we've not had it yet. You know, I think the referee's rightly so there to give him a yellow card. You know, he gets his first touch, as soon as he gets the contact, he goes down. Referee should have seen that, there should have been a yellow card.
Guzhan. Jallo. It's Diaby. Well, the characteristic of Diaby's play is that long diagonal ball, always aimed out towards Nuhu.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a great ball, that. I think it's nice if you play your football sometimes, just do something different, knock a couple of long passes. But either way now, you just look at this game, Fenerbahçe cannot even create a chance yet. You're coming up to 15 minutes, they can't really get out their own half. They're getting penned in by Aspire.
Long ball forward again, misplaced though this time. Mafuta, the fullback, trying to get forward, adding a little bit of width. Furyk.
Yeah, they can't create anything at the moment. They're finding it really difficult, Fenerbahçe. Got to try and get into this game somehow or other and create some sort of chances. Got to maybe try and stop them in midfield. This is good positive play by Aspire in midfield.
Long range shot from Nuhu, but straight to the goalkeeper. Comfortable for him at that time. Lovely play. Nuhu in once again, another chance. Wasn't positive enough, and the follow-up is blocked from Saberi Keita. Lovely play by Aspire out on that far side. They couldn't take full advantage though.
Yeah, well done by Nuhu then. Wonderful play then, but once again another chance goes missing for Aspire. Great play, good positive play.
Still goalless then, but the better chances have fallen to Aspire Football Dreams in the opening 16.5 minutes. Usual 3 points for a win in the group. Real Madrid sitting pretty at the top of this group after their victory yesterday. They will return to action tomorrow when they play Real Madrid, when they play Aspire rather.
Good pressure by Aspire once again, not letting them play out at all, pushing onto them, making it difficult. Not really letting them allow out their own half. They can't seem to get in the opposite side.
They were quite positive from the start yesterday, Fenerbahçe. It took Real Madrid a little bit of time to settle into the game. They fell behind Madrid, but then they really took the game, and Fenerbahçe didn't really have much of an answer. Do you think they'll have learned anything from the way that game sort of panned out for them yesterday that they'll be bringing into today?
I just think the quality of Real Madrid, rightly so, with the players what they had there. We didn't think it was going to happen in the first 10 minutes, but they even made substitutions second half, and it was the same team. It was just they were just against a better side. There are obviously little bits where they can tighten up, be more organised, but I just think they just came across a better side, and you learn a lesson, which happens to everybody.
This all part of the learning process, of course, for these players. Some of the players, for example, the Chinese players from Guangzhou, hadn't played outside China before, so a lot of them travelling for the first time to a foreign country. And this tournament very much run along the lines of a major tournament. The organisation, the way that the players are treated, really is a sign of things to come if you can make it to the top of your game.
Well, I think I think it means a lot to all the managers. Every manager you speak to wants to win it. They want to be here. You know, it has a massive reputation, this competition, and rightly so. I mean, this is the best competition for this age group, without a shadow of a doubt, in the world, and they say that, the managers.
Chance here for Fenerbahçe to put the goalkeeper under some pressure on the free kick. It's a good ball in. It came off the head of Gürkan, but it's again no trouble for Kubi, who looking to try and get his side moving forward quickly.
Yeah, you just look at Gürkan there, look at the size of him. With the two centre-halves, what they got for Fenerbahçe. Can they get some sort of quality crosses in from the set pieces, from corners? You know, because they are big guys, those, so maybe they can try and get a bit of an advantage out of that.
And trying to slip the ball down the line for Nuhu. He's been a good source of play so far, the number 11 Nuhu. Didn't reach him on that occasion. Adenia. Mohamed Ali having his work cut out over on that far side.
See, what I like about Aspire is their first, once they play it into midfield, their first option is they want to move it forward. It has to go forward. They don't go sidewards, backwards. Straight away, can they thread it down the side? Can they thread it to the front men? There's an example here now. There you go, trying to do something positive, pushing forward. Great play by Aspire.
Jallow caught by Cheng. The referee waited a moment before giving the decision. Just think he clipped his back leg there, Cheng. Yeah, just knocked him off balance in full flight. I'm not too sure he would have reached the ball anyway, Jallow, had he got away from his man, but the referee opting to give the foul, so a little bit more defending to do here for Fenerbahçe. Futar and Jallow over the free kick. Just 4 to aim for in the centre for Aspire Football Dreams. 3 players staying back. That's missed everybody. It's not a great free kick. That's the first thing over the first couple of days. Some of the delivery from free kicks has been very poor, and that's probably an area that already we're thinking we'd like to see some improvement. Yeah, you got to use it as an advantage. Sometimes when you have a tough game, you know, a set piece is what makes a difference. So it's something on the training ground you've got to work on, the movement, the delivery. You know, that's one of the main things what stands out for me now with this first half for Aspire. Great possession, they look great, but that final bit of quality has not been good enough, so they've got to do better at that. Aspire have worked well to get the ball back to the goalkeeper, and once again they'll look to build from the back. The way most of these teams look to play these days, you don't see goalkeepers kicking the ball long very often these days. Yeah, it's how football's changed now. It's crazy how your 2 centre-halves open up like they do, talking about each side of the box, and then they thread it into midfield. It's your full-backs get pushed on. It's crazy how it is really now. And your centre point of it is the goalkeeper. So the goalkeeper has to be able to play football now. Futar. Diaby. Denia caught in possession by Nashu. Battling back well, Oguzhan. Amir. Despite claiming they won the ball, the referee, who again was well placed, agrees. Amir stayed down, so 1 short in defence at the moment for Fenerbahçe. Here's Jallow. Otabil. Well, comes out to Nuhu, who completely missed his kick, really. It's a great opportunity. And Mia just limping back now, but what a chance that was for Aspire. Completely missed his hit. Yeah, once again there. I mean, once it opens up there, you know, he just doesn't get it right at all. It's as if he kicks into the ground. You know, another chance goes missing. Got to do better, you know. The higher you go with football and the more tougher the games, you don't get opportunities, and when they do come, you've got to make the most of them. At least hit the target, at least make the keeper make a save, but just doesn't do either of those. You know, it ruins all the good work to get where they actually are. Two more games for you today, don't forget, coming later. Guangzhou Evergrande against Aspire Academy. So the other Aspire team in action, the Qatari-based team who were runners up to Real Madrid last year. And then Kashiwa Reysol, always a pleasure to see them back in this tournament, taking on one of the tournament new boys, Tottenham Hotspur, managed by Scott Parker, such a great midfielder in his day, of course. Be interested to see what squad of players he's got at his disposal. As that's a nasty one. Farouk with the challenge. Yeah, it's a nasty tackle there. That's the type of tackles what we don't want in football. You know, they could be the leg breakers. So, you know, it's strange with the referees. They don't seem to pick up on that, and that's what we don't want in football, tackles like that. Just looking at those boots there, they were a bit bright. They weren't that bright in your day, were they? Just black and white. You couldn't dream of wearing a pair of them. You couldn't even walk in the dressing room. You get more stick than. I mean, me and Chris wore a pair once, and all they had were they were a Nike boot, and they just had a little white stripe down them, and that was like, whoa, hang on a minute. I mean, not compared to they are now. You look at these boots. Have you felt them? There's nothing to them. It's just like slippers. They're just honestly, yeah, they're just socks and whatever. It's crazy, but all different colours. In ours, it was just black and white. Talking like an old man now. Oh, back in the day when I used to wear just black and white. Alan Ball was a bit of a trailblazer, wasn't he? He wore white boots. Yeah, he had the old white goalers. I mean, that was a statement then. Don't mind the coloured boots so much. It's when they wear one boot of one colour on one foot and then another on the other. That's,
yeah,
that's
Aguero had one purple and one another colour. Couldn't do that.
It'll never catch on, they say.
Yeah, but do you remember when the Predators first came out with Johnson? It used to be. I mean, you looked at those, you thought, what are they there? And it's pretty much all evolved from that, hasn't it? Oh, it's gone crazy now with some of the stuff.
Kangaroo skin, weren't they?
Used to bounce down the wing.
That's a lovely ball, Munfutar on the overlap. Good ball over the top as well, and Otabil wasn't too far away from getting a touch.
Yeah, it's good play again. That's slightly better ball into the box. They're working it very well down the right and left-hand side. That was a little bit of better quality. Centre forward couldn't get on the end of it. He made the run on the near post, but that's a little bit better from Aspire.
Barrow made room for the shot, and the goalkeeper went to ground early and was stretching, but didn't need to get a touch. He was just wide, but Aspire just starting to threaten. Good effort.
Yeah, but once again, he doesn't really get the connection with the shot. Does everything right, does the difficult part right of getting the space, but the execution at the end just doesn't get hold of the ball. I think a bit of crossing and shooting is needed for Aspire. Just look at it, he doesn't really get the pace, doesn't get the direction on it.
Turned 16 last week, Diakari Barrow, one of the younger players in the Aspire Football Dreams team. That's a lovely ball through. It's Batyahan, went for the shot early and pulls it just wide. Great chance for FENERBAHÇE, their best chance of the match so far. And Batyahan, under pressure, opted to shoot early and was just wide of the target.
Yeah, that's better. You know, maybe that's the route for them, just to go a little bit more earlier, getting the ball up, but just playing it alongside the defender, gets into the box, just a pity, he just pulls it right, gets the connection, but just pulls it wide. You know, you sent me there was in one of the papers in England, Manchester City are now looking for the new Paul Pogba, Soumare. Remember Soumare, obviously, from playing at Paris Saint-Germain, another player. Here's a shot.
Great strike! And there is the opening goal of the game. And Aspire Football Dreams take the lead. Sabiri Keita with a low shot from outside the penalty area, from FENERBAHÇE going close at one end. It is Aspire that had taken the lead, just inside the box when he hit the shot. Great strike. Finally a quality effort, and Umut is beaten.
Yeah, brilliant play. Then it just opened up for him, edge of the box. I'm sorry, I was talking at the time. I just cut off them, but just managed to get it in there, edge of the box, and that's what he had to do. They've had good opportunities up till now, but eventually they managed to get that first goal, which you have to say they've deserved. Wonderful strike from Keita, edge of the box, and it's 1-0 for Aspire.
28 minutes gone. Probably breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief, Aspire Football Dreams, because they have had the better of the chances in the first half without really taking anything. And FENERBAHÇE, having played yesterday, will start to feel it in the legs as this game goes on and find themselves trailing already, which is not what they would have wanted. Ali's header.
I think they'll feel it even more playing against Aspire. This is possibly one of the worst teams with Kashiwa Racehall to play against the day after a really tough game. They just keep coming at them. They're fresh, they look physically stronger, you know, and it's going to be a real tough afternoon for FENERBAHÇE here now, because they just keep coming at them.
Was another good effort from Nuhu. He's proven to be a real danger man so far. Nuhu out on that far side. A couple of times now he's gone close.
Yeah, does everything right there. Wonderful ability. You've got to say, with them getting in the shooting positions and crossing positions, they seem to do it very easily. Same thing again there. He does some wonderful skill and he hits the shot really well, you know, but it just goes wide. There on the screens there, you've just seen the goal from Keita to make it 1-0. Edge of the box, he fires it home with his right foot in the bottom right-hand corner.
So Aspire Football Dreams, who beat Real Madrid in the final here 2 years ago. Got a very experienced coach, Serigne Mbakadia. He's the Senegal Olympic coach, as well as coaching Aspire Football Dreams. Nuhu in behind once again. Gürkan forced to go across. Not a great ball though, cut out by Cenk. Faruk and Sabral. Goes down through the centre. Nice ball over the top, looking for Nasu, the captain. Got Batchihan behind him. Here is Batchihan.
It's a little bit better, Fenerbahçe. That little ball over the top seems to be causing a bit of problems with Aspire. And now got it in defence now, just in the middle of the pitch, just trying to move forward. Getting pressurised all the time by the white shirts of Aspire, making it difficult for them, not giving them anything at all.
Forward again by Faruk. Headed by Sabia. A bit of time there, Ali, to try and bring that one down. Opted to head it first time though. Gürkan. Cenk. It's given away again. Jallo. Might go for goal himself. Good effort, good save. Umut turned wide for the corner. But the two wide men continue to impress. Jallo on that occasion, cutting in.
Yeah, we saw some wonderful wing play yesterday, especially from Real Madrid. I mean, this is the same as again for Jallo. Wonderful play, cuts inside, catches it perfectly, but the keeper's there just to palm it outside for a corner. But once again, great play by Aspire.
First corner of the afternoon from over on that far side for Aspire Football Dreams. Nuhu. Dig the one out. It's a good header. It's another good save by the goalkeeper. Sibilia with a header, and just a fingertip on that from Umut, because that looked all the way like it was going to be a second goal.
Yeah, fantastic header as well, and we're right behind it now, and as he gets up, it's a fantastic header. It's going in that far corner. The keeper's there just to put it out for another corner. He's done very well, the keeper. He was a little bit shaky in the first game yesterday, but he's made some good saves so far in this game. Kept his side in it.
It's a good clearance that time by Amir. Foul by Batchihan gives another free kick. Nuhu, the player, brought down. Aspire Football Dreams was actually inaugurated in 2005. It kicked off as a project in 2007. 7 different African countries and involved 430,000 people. And you think of the people that you have to pull from in that area, you think if you can get the right people, you could almost get a world-class team, which is why I think Aspire International or Aspire Football Dreams always perform so well, because they're taken in at a young age, they're nurtured. The best get to come here to Aspire in Qatar and live in as scholars and get trained by the best coaches in the world, and eventually maybe go on to be professional footballers. Yeah,
no, it's fantastic, and it's a great market to get into. It's a real niche there, but I mean, you just look all around you and you look really what this place is all about. It's phenomenal, and it's like, you know, it's like that in football now in general. These players get looked after because the finances what are involved in it, and if they do become players, you know, they're going to be worth a lot of money, and it's just it means so much really, football. But you just look at this place around you. If you can't be a good footballer with all these facilities around you, you've got a problem.
Well, one of the big success stories from Aspire Football Dreams was Diowandu Dianya, who now is a Senegal international, came through the programme, played 2 seasons at Eupen in Belgium before being signed by Barcelona's B team. He's now back at Eupen on loan. It just goes to show what can be achieved. Here's Jallo again, went for the curler. Couldn't get his foot around the ball though. He's on his stronger side, the left. He's playing on the right, but he's a left-sided player. It's another good effort.
Once again, they must have had, I bet they must have had 7 or 8 top quality chances. Once again, he does wonderful to get there. Can he just curl it to the far corner? Just curls it wide past the post. Another chance. This could have been another big score if they'd have just been a bit more clinical with the finishing.
Denya's header. Bachihan. That's a nice play. Nashu. Gusan making sure he stays on side in the centre. It's not a great ball in though. Straight through to Kubi in the spy goal. Just a little bit of composure and quality in the final third has let a lot of teams down in this competition over the years, and FENERBAHÇE just falling into that trap a little bit there. Diaby. Mir's header. Denia is shallow once again. Flag up for offside this time though.
It's unlucky.
Too soon.
It really is unlucky. It's good play. It's very positive. It's good forward play. It's a very close call. That for me, it was probably onside, but lovely first touch. Tries to pull it back. But either way, it's really good play. That if the ball's bouncing in midfield, there's only one team that will get in there first, Aspire. Anytime the ball's there, they're getting there and they're pushing forward as well and just creating chances for fun.
Free kick to FENERBAHÇE. Not too much has gone their way in the first half. Foul by Sabiri Keita, the goal scorer. Diaby. To Otabil. Slipped through by Keita once again. Flags up again for offside. It was a tidy finish by Nuhu. And that was a close call as well. Interesting to see that one. 2 calls in quick succession for the...
I'm saying it's not me. I think the run's fantastic. It's a fantastic run. Not for me. Really, really not for me at all. You know, the run, I could see the run he made. As soon as he picked it up in midfield, he timed it. I'll have to have a look again from probably a different angle, but for me, that was a goal. Do you think it was a goal, Matt?
Well, having seen we were talking about yesterday, weren't we, about the VAR system, the referee review system in England, and there was an offside or a decision in an FA Cup game as FENERBAHÇE come forward last week, and the defender had his sort of legs stretched out behind him, and the body of the attacking player was clearly offside, but because that foot effectively was playing him onside, so it's any part of the body, and I think those 2 offside decisions we've seen there were both onside based on that scenario.
Yeah, I mean, there was a programme. I think Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher did a programme back in England, and because we're here, we're saying, well, how easy it looks, and they took them down to the referee's course thing, and they couldn't get any of them right because of how quick the game is and the movement, and they set a couple of things up. It's difficult, but you know they need just a little bit of help. But surely on that one there, I just think he timed the run perfectly there, Keita.
Officials, as we say with that play, devil's advocate do only get the one look at it. Of course, we can sit here and watch replay after replay. Quite interesting. Even in that review system, they had a decision where they watched about 5 or 6 replays and still couldn't tell if it was the right decision or not. So even with the hindsight of television, it's still so quick and so very, very difficult sometimes to get things 100% right. But good ball forward, a good sound. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, because I think that's what football's all about. It's all about that human error, that human interaction.
Correct. Yeah. If it's too perfect, it just takes it away a little bit. And I think it all evens itself up during a tournament, during a league. You know, and you don't want it. You want a little bit of a few mistakes every now and then.
I agree with goal line technology because goals are what win games, but having to review every decision, given the chance, I think
it's like American football, isn't it?
Start, isn't it? Anyway. No VAR in operation here. So we are reliant on the match officials, who've done a good job here so far, apart from those 2 offsides. Farouk. Can FENERBAHÇE get themselves back into this one before half-time? Otabil. Emirhan. 5 changes can be made at any point during the game, by the way, in terms of substitutions. FENERBAHÇE, who have 10 of their players who started yesterday, I'm sure they'll utilise those 5 substitutions a little bit later. Won't know when they're playing again, of course, until after the final group game tomorrow. If they do happen to finish bottom of the group, if they lose today, then they would potentially finish 12th, 11th place, which means they would play again on Thursday. So a day break for them after this.
You do have to say, really, it is. I mean, Benfica, they played obviously yesterday. They don't play till Wednesday. I think it's a little bit harsh to play yesterday and to play again today. There surely must be, because you've got 4 groups there, so surely someone can have a day off there. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, Guangzhou, I think, were a little bit disappointed that they beaten heavily yesterday. Have had to come out and play again today. But then you get AC Milan, who don't play their first game until tomorrow, and then they play 2 games in 2 days as well. So sometimes it's just the nature of with these sort of odd number of...
But surely you can split that up, can't you?
Yeah.
It's just a bit. I mean, you look at Fenerbahçe, so they're up against a team which is their first game of the season, who's obviously going to be fresh. And obviously Fenerbahçe have come through a big result. What's gone against them? It's quite a bit of a tough ask for them.
Well defended again by Sevilla. Nuhu. Clumsy challenge by Ali.
Yeah, great play by the wingers, good positive play. That's what you want to do. Get hold of the ball and try and beat your fullback, try and do something positive. We're getting a lot of that from Aspire. They've been absolutely fantastic in this first half, you've got to say.
I have to say the 4-3-3 formation is working. Just looking at Fenerbahçe at the moment, they've got 4 players sort of in an almost attacking midfield position, and then a huge gap which Aspire Football Dreams are looking to capitalise on.
I mean, there again, look, there's your first ball. Soon as the ball bounces, there's only one team winning it, and it's Aspire.
Almost found a way through to Ogusan, but Mfutar was there to help it back to the goalkeeper. The scenario for Fenerbahçe is if they lose this game, they know they're going to finish bottom of the group. So, as a coach, do you come out all guns blazing in the second half and take a few chances and risk losing heavily, going in search of goals, or do you just say, well, let's just keep it to 1-0 if we can?
I think you change it. I think you change it. You bring some fresh legs on, and you have a go about trying to win a game of football. It's about learning. You've got to have a go. The best way is to attack, be organised, give some of the other players on the bench a bit of a chance, and go and have a go. Second half, go try and compete. I think the side's a bit leggy. With this side, bar one player playing yesterday, so just freshen it up a little bit and have a go second half. But you've got to compete. You have to compete with Aspire first and foremost, because that's what they're doing, and they're winning everything all around the pitch.
Denia. Anan. And Nuhu, chance to run at Ali once again, presses the accelerator, he's done really well. Nice pull back to Otabil. Good block though, great play by the wide man once again. Certainly been one of the standout performers in this game in the first half.
Yeah, he can't live with him, the fullback, both fullbacks can't live with the 2 wingers for Aspire. He gets on the outside of him, what a lovely little pass back, but you've got to say what a block as well. There's a strike, but there's the block as well. He comes over, he sniffs the danger, makes it difficult. Once again, Aspire get there, they do wonderfully to get there, but there's just no end product at the end. They're not finishing them, they're not finishing for the work and the good play what they've had. They're not finishing Fenerbahçe off.
Kubi there, who played that away a second ago. The goalkeeper has been a virtual spectator. 1 minute to be added at the end of the first half. Emirhan. Sibral. Oguzhan, maybe a chance if he can get the first time. Shot it, which he did, but again, pulled across the face of goal by Oguzhan. It's another great chance for Fenerbahçe in stoppage time at the end of the first half.
Yeah, good play, but a very difficult angle. It's got to be something special from there. Tries to pull it to the far post, gets too much on it. But for me, if he'd have scored from there, that would have been really something special. Really, his first touch took him away from goal, and he was just too far wide, and it was just made it too difficult on the angle. There are a few positives from Fenerbahçe, as much as they've been under pressure, as much as they've had a lot of opportunities what have gone against them. They've done a couple of things where they started to come into the game pushing forward.
Well, they'll probably be slightly relieved to go in just one down at half-time, if indeed that's what it is, but Oguzhan's ball over the top is too far ahead of Nusu, as the referee decides that is the quota for the first half. A first half that saw Umut made a couple of fine saves to keep the score down. The goal came after 28 minutes for Aspire Football Dreams. Sabiri Keita, one of the players to watch, with a fine strike from just inside the penalty area. It leaves Fenerbahçe facing an uphill battle to stay in the competition in terms of going through to the knockout stages. Half-time, it's Aspire Football Dreams 1, Fenerbahçe 0. Yeah, just one goal in it after the opening 45 minutes. No changes, it would appear, to either side at the start of the second half. Fenerbahçe made just that one change, don't forget, from yesterday's lineup in central midfield, with Emirhan coming in for Kanturk, but I'm sure we will see 5 changes used by both coaches at some point, certainly Fenerbahçe, during the second half of the match. Day 2 of the Aspire International Cup here in Qatar. And it's been a close fought affair. I'm sure the Aspire coach Surinder would have been saying to his team that, you know, we needed more goals. We should have had more goals in that first half, just maybe a little bit more composure in front of goal, and they would have led by a little bit more than the one they do already. But we've seen that Fenerbahçe have created a couple of openings as well. So first 10 minutes of the second half could be quite interesting.
It could actually, yeah, because it's only 1-0. It should really be about 4-5-0 to Aspire, but it's not the case. That's what's going to give Fenerbahçe a bit of hope. You know, go and give it a go. 45 minutes this half, get out there and try and compete with them and have a go against them. They've wasted so many really good opportunities at Aspire, so they've got to put that right. If they get any chances now, they've got to put it away.
They'll need to take their chances in their second game. Of course, they play Real Madrid, who were superb yesterday in a 6-2 win over Fenerbahçe. That game coming up on tomorrow, in fact, on Tuesday. 3 games a day for the first 4 days till we finish the group stages. Then it's knockout and place matches. There's plenty of football to come. 26 games over 10 days here at Aspire Academy. Annan.
Good possession as well. They pick up exactly where they left off in the first half. Aspire moving the ball around. Well played by the goalkeeper. You know, they seem to create opportunities for fun, you know, but they're not putting them away. That's probably the concerning thing, what the manager said to them at half-time.
Good pace from Annan. He's got Nuhu outside him. He was impressive in the first half. Otabil caught by a strong challenge from Gherkin.
But you know, that's one of the things what you must do when you're playing football. If there's space in front of you, drive into it, get forward as quickly as possible. And this is what the Aspire players do. If there's a space, right into it. You know, you can speed up that extra 5 yards, and the picture just changes. You know, they're very good at that. You know, especially down the flanks, especially in midfield. When they get the chance, they turn and they drive forward.
That's a good play once again from Keita, and into the middle for Otabil to fire into the empty net. And once again, Aspire football dreams have opened up, and the man who scored the first goal has made the second. Sabira Keita with a pacey run down that far side, and it was a simple tap-in for Otabil, and the lead doubled, and FENERBAHÇE now with a real mountain to climb.
Yeah, wonderful football. That's what we've been looking for. That's that bit of quality. Great down that right-hand side. I told you about our positive play. They get there. Can they put the quality cross in? Keita puts a wonderful cross in. Otabil's there just to side-foot it in. Then that is what we were looking for in the first half. Then the coach must be delighted. They come out second half. 48 minutes gone on the clock. They're now leading 2-0.
Christian Otabil was 15 years old on New Year's Eve. So the youngest player in the squad.
And we speak about as well, when if you're going down the right or you're going down the left, get across the post there. Make sure you're there so when the cross comes in. And that's what he was, you know, very mature, head on his shoulders there. As it's working down the right-hand side, he makes sure he's right in front of goal. The delivery is perfect, side foots it into the net. Wonderful finish and wonderful cross.
So difficult to defend against, aren't they, when the ball comes in like that?
Tough couple of days there for FENERBAHÇE. 8 goals conceded so far in 2 days, so it's a little bit of a tough one for them.
Just had a visitor to the commentary box at half-time, Alex Garcia, who was the coach of Aspire Football Dreams back in 2016 when they won it.
Oh, brilliant.
Remember him, he's back, he's not with Football Dreams anymore. He was saying he's working with a range of ages here at Aspire Academy in Qatar. Now he's with the under-15s last year, so clearly the experience of him winning a tournament again with Football Dreams has led him to come back and continue his work here. But I'm sure he'll be an interested onlooker to see how this new batch of African players are approaching. You know, they're impressing so far in their opening game. Flag stays down this time as Nuhu gets in behind. Oh, weaving a way through, he runs into Gherkin. Just quickly back to his feet though. Of course, we get to see Aspire Academy next, to having finished in 7th or 8th place in the previous tournaments, were runners-up last year, so a lot of expectation on their shoulders. They've got their first game against Guangzhou Evergrande.
Yeah, and apparently they have a better side this year. I'm looking forward to seeing them play. And it's all about progression. Can they get better? They definitely did that last year, making it through to the final, just missing out on getting beat by Real Madrid. So we're looking forward to seeing them, see what they're like this season as well.
First change then being made by FENERBAHÇE. It's going to be Berkan that's coming on, and Emir, who's already off the field over on that far side, is the player that's going off. So will be a slight formation change. Berkan goes up front. Looks as though Sibra will drop back to full-back. And of course, as you know, I think it was either yourself or Chris mentioned it yesterday, 2022, Qatar, the host nation, will have a team in a World Cup. How many players that have played here, how many players that have played in this tournament will be featuring for Qatar in 4 years' time?
Well, there's a tournament going on at the moment on under-23s, where Qatar have made it through to the semi-final. This is the side really which I think everyone's looking. They have a player called Afif, Moez, really good players. I mean, they've obviously come through Aspire. And they are, I mean, all the work what's been going on from the year since it's going is coming to fruition now. We're starting to see the quality of the players coming through. you know, but it will definitely be interesting to see what sort of players. Have the players played in the tournament? Have they played in the league, what we cover, the QMB Stars League, you know, what sort of team? But I think they're mainly be coming from that under 23s tournament. That's what they're trying to drive through. And what players they are as well. They're going in all the competitions, they're winning everything. And hopefully this year they finish off by going through to the final and winning that as well.
Well, it's not a nation that you perhaps look at, Qatar, as providing top quality footballers, but I just wonder whether some other clubs around Europe will start looking, with the way things have gone here. There's a scout from Manchester United here who does a lot of under-17 work. He was out in India at the under-17 World Cup as well. Was quite interesting having a chat. You know, he has certain targets in mind, but you know, there will be players here that will catch the eye of some of the top clubs, and nice to see the big clubs having a presence at these junior tournaments.
You've got to, you know, this is so big. Football is massive now. You know, I was reading an article the other week that, you know, they're going getting these kids now at 4 or 5 years old, giving them contracts and stuff. It's, you know, it's crazy how the world's gone towards football. But wherever there's a game of football, wherever there's talent, there's going to be scouts, and they're going to be from the big clubs. They're going to be from wherever, because the reward's so massive. You know, if you can get 1 out of whatever, 1 out of 5,000 or something, the reward's there for them. You see. And the infrastructure's there as well for these players.
Rare touch for Kubi, the Aspire Football Dreams goalkeeper. Life-changing, of course, for the African players if you can forge a career as a professional footballers. A lot of them come from extreme poverty in villages in Africa, so it really is a life changer. Forward by Bachahan. Berkan, the substitute. Jallo. Back onto his stronger left side again, that in-swinging ball in, diving header from Ali, doesn't really get the ball clear. Referee spotted an infringement. I think there was a handball in there, which gives a free kick to Fenerbahçe.
Yeah, you were just saying then about the Africans, obviously where they're from. You know, but if you just watch them, if they lose the ball, they fight for everything. They fight for, you know, they want it. They're desperate for it. You know, you've got to. You know, football not long ago was a working class game where people play football and they create a life for themselves. You know, that is what it. You know, that's what it's like there in some of the places in Africa. That's why it's so much of a hub for footballers. You know, these players want it. They want it badly as well. You know, and that's where the question mark is. These ones which are at your Aspires, at your wonderful academies, you know, do they get it too easy? That's a flip side argument there, but these boys here want it and they need it, so they're desperate. You watch when they lose the ball, great in possession, but when they lose the ball, they get back and do the hard stuff as well.
Retaining possession well, Aspire Football Dreams. Fenerbahçe with a bit of movement on their bench, so I think another couple of changes made very soon. Diaby.
See, no matter what it is, as wonderful as it is now, if they go and play in their first teams, they have to be mentally strong. You know, it might not go well for you, you might make a mistake, you're in front of 60,000 people, 40,000 people, so they have to have a bit of bad stuff here. It's about a lot of football is your character. It's all right being technically good, it's all right being able to pass the ball around, but it's when things don't go well for you. Can you step out at Old Trafford and play there, and can you do what you're doing here in the middle of the pitch and get the ball down? So you have to test them mentally. You know, have they got that little bit, have they got that physical, mentally thing where you're strong when it doesn't go well, and you go, you know, football's all about that as well. It's okay being technically good and fit, you know, but you've got to be mentally strong as well.
Great header there from Sabila with Berkan right behind him. How old were you when you made your professional debut?
I made my debut when I was 18. But then I was in and out until I really started playing was probably 19, 20. You know, once you get in, it's the strangest thing ever when you actually make it on the when you play your first team game. You know, that's what you've been built, that's what you've been dreaming of, and all of a sudden when you actually step out on the pitch, it takes you 2 or 3 games. You don't know what you're breathing, you don't know where you're running, your adrenaline's pumping, you know, and until you get into that and you're there on the pitch, it's the most honest feeling ever. You're there, you know, that's what you wanted all the time, and then eventually the more you do it, you probably make a few mistakes, you probably have a few stinkers, and then all of a sudden you get into it then and you learn what to do. So you're learning all the time. You learn your breathing eventually. You know, the oddest thing ever is when you come on, you just don't know where you are. You're chasing things, you're running after everything like an headless chicken. You don't know what's going on. You're literally exhausted when you come off the pitch. But then all of a sudden you learn, you know, you go through all these different stages. And then you think you've made it. And then you get a kick at the backside then when all of a sudden, you know, you've got to keep on your toes and keep driving. That's why when you look at players like Ryan Giggs and players like that who have played every year, you know, when people every year keep doing it, it's ever so difficult.
Fenerbahçe on the back foot a little bit there, and that's another great chance for Aspire, but again it's not been taken, and better opposition, they'll probably rue some of these missed chances.
Probably just needs a little bit more composure, you know, because they're that quick the way they move the ball, they're that quick at creating opportunities. It just needs somebody with a little bit of composure just to be able to put the ball on the back of the net.
Did make a change just before that, by the way. Fenerbahçe Serhat coming on. Batyahan was the player that's gone off. Jumai Jallo, who continues to impress. Couldn't keep that shot down. He'd have impressed even more had he managed to find the target. Guangzhou Evergrande against Aspire Academy coming up after this match. Then Kashiwa Reysol against Tottenham Hotspur. The debutants in the competition, as are Guangzhou, of course, who are playing, say, after this game. It's Serhat. Didn't quite get there first. Good covering by Annan. Get our first look at AC Milan tomorrow against Wydad, the Moroccans. Aspire Football Dreams against Real Madrid, two teams with fantastic history between them in this competition. And then Tottenham in action once again against Paris Saint-Germain. Games coming thick and fast on the opening days of this competition.
That'll be a good game, won't it? Obviously, Aspire for Dreams, Real Madrid. What a wonderful game that was. And obviously Tottenham, Paris Saint-Germain and ACM. Be wonderful. What a big day again tomorrow. Bring it on. They just keep coming thick and fast at us, don't they? No, wonderful. You have to say with the performance, what we're seeing now from Aspire, that looks like they're going to get tested against what we thought was a fantastic performance by Real Madrid.
No foul, no foul, no foul, no foul.
Jallo. Chen comes across and just gets enough on the ball to concede a throw, but I'm sure what was in Jallo's mind there was just pushing that down the line, because he certainly got the more pace than the two big central defenders, but challenge.
Can't catch him. I mean, once again, positive play down that right-hand side, just getting the ball and looking to run the whole length of the pitch.
Nasu. 4 teams that finished bottom of their group last year and contested the lower placings. Al Ahly, AS Roma, Bayern Munich, surprisingly, finishing in 11th place in this competition last year, and Raja Casablanca from Morocco, the big rivals of Wydad, who are here this year. Away by Kubi. Nice play again, Nuhu. Solid challenge by Sibral on the edge of the penalty area. Just can't find a way through at the moment, Fenerbahçe. Straight away, they're tackling back. That's the captain Denia winning the ball back for Aspire Football Dreams. Sibilia.
Once again, wonderful play from Aspire, through on goal.
That was a good challenge. It was Keita who was looking to get his second goal of the game, and Sibral times the challenge perfectly.
Fantastic defensive challenge, but another opportunity goes missing there. Just gets the first touch, but well done by the defender there just to poke it out for a corner.
Last ditch defending from the Turks in this one, who trail by 2-0. Swinging corner in towards Nuhu, on by Keita once again, but bounces up for Umut, the goalkeeper. Balled out to Farouk. Fenerbahçe about to make a third change.
Just cannot get the ball forward, cannot create any opportunities at all. It's all Aspire.
Serhat. Ali with a throw. Another change about to be made. Farouk is going off, and Kanturk, who started the game yesterday, he was the only starting player left out today, is about to come on. So 3 changes now made by Cengiz Aydin. It's Amirhan.
Yeah, it's a right idea then, just getting on the right-hand side there. Just tries to curl it into the near post, gets a little bit too much on it, goes into the keeper's hands, but just look at Aspire now pushing forward. Wonderful pass down the right-hand side.
Guzhan hasn't seen as much of a Guzhan as we did yesterday in the game against Real Madrid.
No, he's not. He's very quiet today. You know, he's involved with it all the time. They kept getting the ball to him on the left-hand side. He's had a very quiet game. There he is there in your picture.
See, he gets a little frustrated at Guzhan when things aren't going his way. It's been a polished first performance so far by Aspire Football Dreams. Nuhu. So driving forward here, Nuhu almost got to the byline. Gürkan sticks out a foot and concedes the corner.
Once again, wonderful positive play from Aspire, getting into the dangerous areas. Just tries to, until the defender comes over and just pokes it out of place. Another corner again for Aspire. It's a comfortable game for Aspire, it really is. They're not creating anything at all. Fenerbahçe, and it could have been a lot more goals.
Nuhu's ball in. Diaby. Nashu trying to prevent the cross. The ball does come across though, just away from Nuhu. Serhat rather, shoulder to shoulder. Brings a throw in for his side. Another change then for FENERBAHÇE. Khan is the player coming on, and Nashu, the captain, is the man going off. Really just a question now of giving two players a bit of game time. Khan played the final 13 minutes yesterday against Real Madrid. Still only 16, celebrates his 17th birthday next week. Spire are going to make a change in a moment as well. Ouattara is ready to come on, and he is going to come on now, and it's going to be Jallo, who's been so impressive tonight, that's going off. So sure he'll get a congratulations from his teammates. High five from Barrow as he leaves the field. And Ouattara will come on and add a little bit of an extra dimension now over on that far side to Aspire.
Yeah, well played, wonderful performance as well, wasn't it? Down that right-hand side, very positive. Yeah, the good thing about FENERBAHÇE, they keep going. As difficult as what it's been in this game, they're still in there, they're still doing it. It's only 2-0.
Guzan just runs into Adenia, the Spire captain. Kita. Ouattara. Ouattara on the overlap, but just straight offside there, the fullback. No let up in the positive play from Aspire. That's a close one. I don't think that's offside either. It's probably 3 dubious offsides we've had now.
I mean, they haven't got much to do. All they've got to do is look across the line. Surely it can't be as difficult as that. They're getting it so far wrong. There's quite a few decisions what we've seen so far. You know, you just got to look across the line.
Ouattara wins his side a corner, the substitute.
You see the way they've gone about the game is absolutely perfect. Knowing that FENERBAHÇE had a tough game yesterday, they've not stopped at all. They've just been they've stopped them with anything in midfield. The 2 flank players have took them on the outside. They've had energy about the game, and it's been really difficult afternoon for FENERBAHÇe. I mean, they just keep coming at them. You know, if there's any sort of negatives, what I'd say for Aspire is they've got to do better when they get into those situations. They get there, which is a difficult part, but just need that little bit more quality if they're going to do better against the quality sides. And we'll see that in the next game against Real Madrid.
Good challenge back there by Ouattara on Guzan. He thought he'd won a free kick, the Turkish number 9, but only a throw in. Now's a chance. Good looking ball into the box. Sibalo with a header away.
Once again, then all second balls. If it goes into the box, if it bounces down, there's only one team getting it. It's Aspire. FENERBAHÇe have got to try and get in there and compete and get there first as well. Anything that bounces, Aspire have got it, and then all of a sudden they hit them on the counter attack.
Kubi hasn't had too much to do in the Aspire Football Dreams goal. The RB under pressure from Guzan. Sabiala. We do see a goalkeeper kicking the ball long, which we've not seen too often in this game. Too many options on there for Kubi. Guzan. Kanturk. Bergkamp. Long-range shot, good save by the goalkeeper. Safe pair of hands from Kubi. Put his body right behind that one. Cabral slices the ball behind. Not the quality they were looking for then. Double change coming up then for Aspire Football Dreams as the Fenerbahçe coach Cengiz Aydin looks on. Another. More fresh legs coming on. Lutalo comes on. Place of Otabil. And Barrow is coming off to be replaced by another Jallo in the Aspire Football Dreams lineup.
Yeah, they can afford to change it now, start bringing some fresh legs on. It's been a really good performance by Aspire, been totally in control of it. We questioned it because it's a different squad than what we used to see, but it's the same old Aspire. You know, they're going to be difficult to beat. They bring energy, they're strong. Their enthusiasm for the game is probably the biggest out of anybody really here. That's what you've got to try and match. But they're definitely going to get tested in the next game. Real Madrid's going to be, it could be a cracking game, that.
And they've actually got a pretty good record against Real Madrid as well. They've met each other on a number of occasions in this tournament.
And some wonderful wingers for both sides in that game. I mean, Real Madrid had some fantastic couple of wingers that just drifted past the fullbacks, the same as Aspire.
Jordi and Amis yesterday for Madrid. Injury here to Annan, the Aspire fullback, so there'll be a brief stoppage in play. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. Going back to those clashes between Aspire Football Dreams and Real Madrid. Aspire Football Dreams beaten Real Madrid twice in the final, of course. 2016 they won, and then 2014 when they won their first Alcas International Cup.
And they were fantastic in that one there, the 2014. What a wonderful, how powerful and strong they were. You know, it's set up, and obviously Real Madrid winning it in last season, so that's it's all set up for another wonderful game. That, and it brings the best. I mean, it's whoever plays against Real Madrid wants to beat them anyway, so it's going to bring the best out of Aspire.
Breeze just seems to have picked up a little now. It's at the backs of Fenerbahçe, blowing from left to right in the second half.
Just those cold winter months coming in now. Still 20 odd degrees, 30 odd degrees though, but it just feels, I mean, consider what it's like in the summer. We managed to, in the background you can see the Khalifa Stadium, which is the first stadium for the 2022. It's going to hold, it's going to be the quarter-finals, what it'll hold. And they played a game which is the Emir Cup, and it was 110 degrees outside, inside was 19 degrees, so it's absolutely phenomenal when you're actually in there. You know, and it must be, if you're anything to do with Aspire and you're the right age, that must be at the back, that must be at the front of your mind. You must be thinking, hang on, there's nothing bigger than that, the biggest tournament in the world. You know, you look at these under-23s what are playing in the Asia Cup now, you know, it's there for you, isn't it? That's your aim, isn't it? Can I play in the World Cup and represent the country in Qatar? Does it get any bigger than that? Is that enough to get you up every day and get you down the training?
Absolutely. Of course, after Russia concludes in July, that's when it will all start kicking into gear for Qatar. That's when they can really start to promote 2022. Ali. Just panicked a little bit. Too much on for him there.
Yeah, it's not really far now. As soon as Russia finishes, you know, it's all about the build-up then. It's all about the 4-year build-up. You know, I'm sure he just working it down the right-hand side, goes out of play. But you must see the difference yourself. You come back every year, you know, with the infrastructure everywhere and what's actually going on. You must see a big difference. Yeah,
I mean, you know, looking at those buildings across the way, you know, 3 years ago, those brand new buildings weren't there, and just talking to, again, Alex Garcia, saying those facilities that are in there are absolutely second to none, and the money that's been invested here is absolutely incredible. And so many teams come here for the warm weather training, of course, during the winter break, which a lot of European teams have around this time of the year, December, January. It's an ideal location to come, perfect facilities, 2 top-class hotels on site as well. So,
well, we had Paris Saint-Germain. They come every year. Neymar was doing a little bit on the old Corniche with a few of the players, and Bayern Munich come every year as well. So Schalke usually come as well, but I mean, there's no better facilities there.
Here's Keita, just offside. Switch sides over to the left since the substitutions, Keita.
But you look as well, going on to that, you look at the infrastructure as well in the background. You know, I think there's 2 of the stadiums which have got roofs on them. All they do is need the seats, so you're not far with that. You know, there's been another stadium which has been granted, which is going to be on the Corniche, just at the side near the old airport. You know, it's all the roads and the tubes and this is all coming to fruition now. You know, the roads around the Corniche as well. So it's exciting times, very exciting.
Utara, put out of the air by Umut. Fenerbahçe haven't let their heads drop in this one. Still pressing forward. Sibral tried to find Agusan. Once again, just that fine margin, the ball just cut out. Utara. Tries to slip it through for Lutalo, but not quite have enough on it.
Yeah, just once again, that final ball. You know, you get there, you're doing wonderful to get there. Bit more quality. Once again, look at them working it well, edge of the box. You've got to finish it off. Once again, not a good shot, not a good cross, whatever it was. It's just got to be better in that final third.
No. Keita. Driven into the back of Khan. Serhat. Bergkamp has put his side back under a little bit of pressure. Nuhu tried to play it first time. Given away to Lutalo. Here's Utara. Chance for Aspire's third goal, but, well, Utara didn't keep his head, leaning back when he hit the shot. Another change coming up here for Aspire. Musa Ndai, the player that's come on, and also a change for Fenerbahçe. Their final change as Ahmet comes on to replace Mohamed Ali. It's Anand, the fullback, by the way, that went off for Aspire Football Dreams. Inside the final 10 minutes, Aspire Football Dreams winning 2-0, but it has been a lot more comfortable than that scoreline would suggest. At the moment, as though Fenerbahçe will be playing it for the lower placings in the competition on Thursday. Matches to decide 9 and 10, 11 and 12.
Yep, it's all about getting something out of it, whatever game you're playing, you know, just getting something, learning. But once again, look, wonderful play there from Aspire down that right-hand side.
Utara, nice turn. Just behind Keita. Ndai. His shirt tugged by Serhat, but still kept possession of the ball. Back again by Keita. Foul by the Aspire Football Dreams captain, Leslie Adenia. Serhat, can they get a consolation out of this on Fenerbahçe? Overhit cross once again, and that final ball into the box has really let Fenerbahçe down tonight.
They've actually stuck at the task tonight, haven't they, Fenerbahçe, considering how difficult it's been. You know, Aspire it's a tough challenge to anybody to play against Aspire, you know, but they stuck at it. The score's only 2-0, it could have been a lot worse.
I'm sure when they watch the highlights back of this one, Aspire Football Dreams will feel they certainly should have had more goals in this one. Strong play in midfield by Diaby. Futar. Futalo. Diaby has pushed into midfield now, by the way, after those substitutions. Jallo has gone in at centre-back alongside Sibyala. He's on the ball now, the substitute. Denya.
Yeah, good pass into midfield, then just zipped it into midfield. Totally in control of the game now, Aspire. Just coming up to 85 minutes. Aspire leading this 2-0.
Out by Cenk, forward by Sibral. Bit of cramp creeping in for Augustin. You could hear his screams as he went down. Denya. Aspire Sporting, he put the ball out of play so that he can get some treatment here.
Yeah, as I expected, really, there. Some of the Fenerbahçe players are really struggling a little bit now, getting a bit of cramp. It's been a difficult ask for them. Tough day yesterday for them. Then they've got to play again today against Aspire.
You can still hear a goose in the background. A bit painful on that one. Coach seems in fairly jovial mood. I'm sure he'll take some positives from this tournament. Have made all 5 substitutions, by the way, Fenerbahçe, so if Augustin's unable to continue, they will have to play the final couple of minutes with 10 men. And there those Surin Dia will be delighted with the way his side have started this tournament.
Yeah, good start for them. It's just about the opportunities what they've had. They've had so many opportunities, just need that little bit more quality. The goals what they did score were wonderful goals.
Sabiri Keita with the opener. Great tap in there to make it 2 from Otabil. Lovely ball across, it really set it up on a plate for him from Keita, who scored the first, made the second. Plenty of other chances that they've created as well in this game. Guzhan will head off on the medical cart. Another change here for Aspire. That scorer of that opening goal, Sabiri Keita, is the man that's gone off. And Boubacar Boy from the Gambia is the player that's coming up. So Fenerbahçe are down to 10 men. There will be a little bit of added time to add on. We're inside the final 3 minutes of the 90.
Let's see. You don't play easy. Three boy faster.
Serhat just ran the ball out of play. Really just going through the motions, both sides now in the final few minutes. So they look a little leggy at the moment, Fenerbahçe. You can tell that a lot of these players played less than 24 hours ago. It's not ideal for these coaches and players, but of course it is the nature of tournaments like this. Occasionally you will have to play 2 games in 2 days. Guangzhou Evergrande in the next game also played yesterday. Well, their coach was a little unhappy at having to turn out yet again 24 hours after a heavy defeat. No real time to work with his team on the training ground and put a few things right. Roberto Rojos. Good running by Ndai. 2 racing through the centre, comes off Sibral. Nicely laid back to Nuhu, but he caught it. First time it's not even going to go to play, I don't think. He's going to go out for a throw-in in the corner. Caught it first time, Nuhu. Nuhu. Serhat with a fairly tame-looking challenge. Looking for Lautaro, trying to get him behind. 3 minutes added time to be played, and Dai will try and deliver the ball back in once again for Aspire. There's a raised hand from Ndai, which gives away the free kick as Sibral goes down. So to added time at the end of the 90 minutes. Spire Football Dreams will go second in the group. Real Madrid will stay top on goal difference by virtue of their 6-2 win over Fenerbahçe yesterday. And they will battle it out for top spot. Should be a cracking game tomorrow in the middle match of 3. Medenya. Chasing again for Lautaro. Cenk had to be across. Thought to take his eye off that one.
Go, go, go!
Talo and Cenk tussling away once again. Nuhu. Have to say, probably deserves a goal. Nuhu had a couple of great chances in the first half. Certainly the width has proved a problem for Fenerbahçe, with Jallo in the first half and Nuhu operating the wide men. So it should be a fascinating matchup against Real Madrid, who themselves have got two good wide players. Real battle of wits in that one. Nuhu. Lutalo, flags just up for offside. Just the wrong side of Ahmet. Sibiala. Nuhu. A rare misplaced pass from Aspire. Well won back though by Jallo. Sibala. Referee brings the game to a close. So Fenerbahçe playing twice in 2 days, fall to defeat. Serene Dia's side seeing off Sergiz Aydin's by 2-0. Goals in each half. Sibiri Keita put Aspire Football Dreams 1 up in the first half. He made the second goal for Christian Otabil to fire into an empty net. It was a fantastic ball across, but Aspire Football Dreams playing well throughout in every department to take the 3 points. And their next match against Real Madrid will be eagerly awaited. Final score here, Aspire Football Dreams 2, Fenerbahçe 0.